Hey there, and welcome to Vacation of the Minds channel. With the recent events that have been taking place in the world, I felt called to share this video with each and every one of you. So many of us are feeling hopeless and helpless during this time. We see the chaos, the evil that's happening in the world, but we really feel like our hands are tied, like there's absolutely nothing we can do. And that feeling of hopelessness leads to despair. It makes it hard to function every day and just be a normal person. What is normal anymore, anyways? I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she said, we're just supposed to go on making dinner and working and paying bills and pretending like life is just on with the routine as usual. While the world feels like it's going up in flames, evil is everywhere you turn. Everyone is talking about the destruction, the chaos, the horrible events that are taking place across the globe to our children. And it can feel even more disturbing deep inside when it feels like there's absolutely nothing you can do. But I want to give you some hope today. My name's Brianna. I'm the founder of Vacation of the Mind. And the purpose of this channel is to reconnect people back to nature, back to the balance that exists in this world, back to what was actually created to be synchronicity. It's my personal belief that by reconnecting to nature, we reconnect to ourselves. And for many, many years now, I have been practicing meditation, reprogramming of my lifestyle, and several what I would call techniques that I use on a daily basis for helping to bring some of that balance back to the planet, back to the people, and just back to Earth. So I'm feeling called to share lately based on some of the conversations I've been having, based on my own personal feelings, and based on the direction of spirit, what some of my personal practices are, and hopes that while you may feel helpless, you're not. There are actually things that we can be doing during this time that make a huge difference in the world. Energy is very real. Sending and using light as protection, as a rebalance into specific parts of the world is very real. The law of vibration governs everything on this planet. That was a journey that took me some years to understand what it actually meant, and the frequency that we vibrate at is the frequency that we are sending out into the universe. So if we are vibrating at the frequency of fear versus at the frequency of love and courage, then we're only feeding into certain timelines that are taking place on this planet right now that maybe we really don't want to participate in. But because fear is a very real outcome to much of what we're being shown, much of what we're being told, and much of what we're being fed from a storyline right now, many of us are operating from that place, and we're not really sure how to shift our frequency into the vibration of love or into the vibration of courage. And what fear does is it paralyzes us completely. Fear is designed to either make us run from a problem, to make us stand and fight, or to freeze completely and not know what to do. And so whether you find yourself in the wanting to run, or maybe stick your head in the sand and hope that this all ends very quickly, or you find yourself wanting to go to the streets and fight, or maybe you just don't know what to do and you're stuck in this frozen space where you'd like to help, you'd like to make a difference, but you're paralyzed. You don't know how to move in the moment. All of that is understandable, and quite frankly, all of that is the narrative that we're being fed right now. It's what they want us to believe, that we have no power, that we have no choice, but to just watch all of this like it's a bad movie and become desensitized to it. For a number of years, I have been practicing protection in my own life, and I could sit and share story after story after story of how using these protective techniques, disciplines, rituals, whatever term you want to use to describe them, have worked in my personal life. I'm not going to bore you with all of those details. I've had crazy experiences with using these techniques, from protection against people who are trying to use black magic against me, from protection of land and property, from protection of natural disasters, storms, weather patterns, and my own personal protection of being moved from one place to another very quickly out of harm's way. They work. And I'm not expecting you to believe me because I've told you they work, or because I've said they work in my own life. But if you're feeling hopeless right now, I invite you to try these and to see how they work in your own life. I like to think of experiments like this as little exercises that I run to try things on. And if they fit and I feel good in them, I keep them. And if not, all good. You can just put them to the side. There's not a day that goes by that I don't protect myself before I get out of bed. And what I'd like to do is share a couple of these disciplines that I've learned. I was guided personally by Spirit to do these techniques in my own life. And since then, I have also been doing protection techniques for different places on the planet, as well as sending love and light to help negate some of the evil that's going on in the world right now. Again, this is for those of you who are feeling hopeless, who are feeling like you want to participate in something, you want to take action, but you're just not sure how to move in whatever is going on around you right now. You can use these protective techniques personally for your own life, for your own personal protection, your protection of your loved ones, your friends. But you can also use these techniques to send out into the community, for example, or to protect different parts of the planet. It's my personal belief that those of us who are light workers are placed strategically on the planet right now, and if we all come together to use these protective techniques, these techniques of sending love and sending light, that together we can make a difference energetically by vibrating at the frequency of love and the frequency of courage. We can actually shift the vibration of the planet. And I've personally experienced time and time again how this has worked. Even from a potential tsunami after a major earthquake happened. So let's start with the protective technique that I use for myself personally before I get out of bed every morning. I always start with deep breathing to ensure that my central nervous system is operating from a calm place. And as we know, deep breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, speaks directly to the central nervous system, and it invites it to relax. It brings the mind, body, and spirit into alignment. I invite you to start with 10 deep, slow breaths. Remember, the deeper you breathe, the deeper the connection you build, the more relaxed you're going to become, and the more calm your central nervous system is going to be. After those 10 breaths, I typically like to focus on the darkness behind my closed eyes for a few minutes, or focus on the space between my eyebrows, not allowing a lot of thoughts to consume my mind. And the reason for this is because I personally like to come from a place of stillness where there's no outside influences on my own protective work or the work that I might be doing somewhere on the planet. So focusing on the darkness behind your closed eyes or the space between your eyebrows, while really seeking to allow whatever thoughts are trying to come through to just be pushed to the side for a moment, and just focusing on that still, quiet space inside, connecting to the peace deep within. And my personal belief allows me to operate from that place of stillness rather than operating from a place of maybe the thoughts that I'm having that might influence that situation. So we then focus on connecting to the peace deep inside. And then I envision a ray of sunshine, that golden white light, just like a ray of sunshine is coming into my body. And this is going to be different for everyone. Sometimes that ray of sunshine comes into my solar plexus or my abdomen first. Sometimes that ray of sunshine comes in through my crown chakra or my head first. Other times my entire body just becomes a ray of golden white light. However this shows up for you is okay. There is no right or wrong. That's the most important thing to understand. But seeing your entire body fill with golden white light, as if you've become the ray of sunshine. You know, on a beautiful, bright, sunny day, when the sun is just shining so clearly and so brilliantly, that's the kind of golden white light ray of sunshine I envision my entire body turns into. And again, maybe it starts in one space and fills the body, or maybe you just see your body as that beaming golden white light. I then take that golden white light and I see it fill my entire aura. And then I wrap myself in a circle of golden white light. And that's my protection. Golden white light wrapped around me in a full circle. Now, if you want to take this one step further, you can see an actual plate of gold, like maybe 2 to 3 inches thick. And you can use this as a shield in front of you. You can build a cylinder or a square of this 2 to 3 inch thick gold around you, right? And the gold, taking it one step further past the golden white light, the gold does add an additional layer of protection around you or around whatever it is that you want to be protecting for that day. Now, often what I do after this, after I see myself turn into the golden white light, after I wrap myself in protection, I see the golden white light radiating from my body into the community and where I am currently. And I often on a daily basis take my direction for this practice from Spirit. So I'll often ask my angels and Spirit, where do I need to focus this golden white light today? Sometimes that golden white light is sent to people of the community. Sometimes it goes out even further. It can be sent to people of a specific country, or it could even just be sent out into the entire world. You can wrap a bubble of this golden white light as protection over specific landmarks, over specific places on the planet. You can also, one of the things that I've done is to protect land. For example, I will see a bubble of golden white light protecting, for example, where I live, the mountains. And then I will radiate that golden white light down all the way into the ground. Or I will radiate that golden white light out from me, where I'm filled with the golden white light, outward, and see it radiating all the way to a specific landmark. Now, you can do this on a local basis, or you can take this even further, where some mornings I'll wrap the entire planet in golden white light. Some mornings I'll wrap the planet in golden white light, and then I'll send the golden white light down into the core of the planet. Again, this can be very spirit-led. You can do this differently on a daily basis. You can do the same thing on a daily basis. Ask for guidance. And you can also do this with other people in your life, with the people that you love, if you want to wrap them in protection. A lot of times I will couple this with listening to someone like Calm Whale, which is shamanic drumming, or Hertz frequency music, because we know that certain frequencies have an effect on the planet, on people, on our general surroundings, and on our own DNA. And this has been proven time and time and time again, and there's actually a lot of research happening in this area. So I encourage you to play some kind of frequency music. Calm Whale is shamanic drumming. It's one of my personal favorites to listen to during this time. Now, I often couple this with the practice of also sending love. And so if there's a specific area that I feel called to send love to, or specific people that I feel called to send love to, I may see them wrapped in golden white light and then send them love, because we know that the vibration of love is the highest vibration that we can operate in, and energy is real. And so while yes, there is evil on the planet, and yes, there is a lot of destruction happening right now, we can also counterbalance that evil just by vibrating a specific frequency which has an effect energetically on this planet, on the community in which you live, and on other communities. So while it's so easy to get into the spirit of fear, to get into the frequency of fear, I highly, highly encourage you that every time you notice yourself in that frequency, become aware of it and shift yourself into a state of love. Shift yourself into a state of sending love to humanity, sending love to the planet, sending light and love into the core of the planet, out into the community, because this will counterbalance the energy of evil that we are currently seeing across the world, across the globe, and across our planet. Now, if you want to take this one step further with your own practice, some of us right now are being called at different times of the day and different times of the night. One of the things that I was shown a couple of years ago when I was really heavy into understanding why I was awake at certain hours of the night when the world was sleeping, and what frequency shifts were happening at those times because the world might be sleeping. So now when I find myself awake at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever time it might be, I typically ask my angels, okay, what's the purpose of me being awake right now? And I'm typically shown that I am being called as a light worker, as a spiritual warrior, to do some work on a specific area or on the planet, and I allow spirit and my angels to guide me. But I typically also work within this realm of sending light, sending love to a specific area, or seeing this bubble of light protecting a specific area. So if you find yourself awake at all hours of the night right now and you're not quite sure why or quite sure what to do during those hours, rather than doom scrolling or being on some of these social platforms, I encourage you to use these practices to help counterbalance the energies that are taking place on the planet right now. I hope this helps to give you hope that even though while in the physical realm, there may not be much we can do right now, in the energetic realm, there's a lot we can be doing. It's really important to get into nature. It's really important during these times to protect and look after your central nervous system. Become aware of when you're feeling overwhelmed. Become aware of when you need to take a break. Become aware of when you need to go take that walk, or when you need to maybe take a bath or go for a swim, or just take a few deep breaths to recenter yourself. Because as the chaos in the world builds, what's going to become the most important thing we have is the state that we're in internally, and connecting to our inner peace and learning to regulate our own emotions and regulate our central nervous system is going to become more important every single day as we face these chaotic times. And that is the one thing that we have control over, is maybe not what's happening externally to us, but how we are personally responding. And by regulating ourselves and learning to regulate our central nervous system, whether that's playing some Mozart or some high frequency music, whether that's dancing around your living room or going for a walk, or whether that's taking a full day and getting into nature and just laying in a hammock by the river, listening to the sounds of the water, or reading a good book. All of those little, what may seem like little things, are wildly important for us as light workers to continue to counterbalance the energy on this planet. So I encourage you to take responsibility for your own state during these times. Yes, things look bleak, but don't forget that the light has already won. And remember that we choose how we respond to what's happening in the environment. Even if we ourselves are in a state of a place that's chaotic, we can choose to continue to regulate our own emotions and our central nervous system. And that is how you hold the power. So send light, send love, regulate yourself, get into nature often. Nature has negative ions that actually are proven to rebalance the body, the mind. Be sure you take care of yourself during this time, because at the end of the day, we're really the only ones we have. We come into this world alone, and we go out of this world alone. And life really, truly is about how we respond to what's happening. Happiness is created internally. It's not something that we can get externally. And even in the midst of chaos, we can connect to the peace that resides deep within. May this give you hope. I'm sending light and love to humanity and to the planet in this moment. May you receive it. May you remember who you are and the power that you hold by vibrating at the frequency that helps to counterbalance the chaos that's happening all around us. And may you remember just how powerful you are by being an energy body here, and by connecting to the highest source of energy and sending that out. May we all be blessed during these times. Thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful day.